In the green while providing green space to all. That was one of the main themes at tonight's Quincy Park Board meeting. Members talked about several proposals ranging from the Westview Golf Course to the future of the Art Keller Marina. While they didn't take any action on either location, they did verbally agree to keep the marina open through at least 2025. Meanwhile, tonight was newly elected board member Jared Jones's first official meeting as president.
It's so important to be able to continue to really make it known that individuals throughout the community have access and they are welcomed, and that they should continue to feel like they are a huge piece of what makes our community so special.
Board members are also considering a plan to irrigate Westview Golf Course, especially because it's becoming more popular. Meanwhile, you can expect dozens of junior golfers in Quincy next week. They will play the 50th annual Pepsi Little People's Golf Championships. That's June 19th through the 21st.